In the last episode, I asked you guys to comment on what we should do next to the cutter. And the top comment on episode was small anti-air, vertical launch system, defense system, or close-in weapon system gun. Keep those pesky helicopters and planes away. I went with the CIWS just because I think every boat needs a CIWS. Okay, you guys, well, let's get started building. And the thing to remember about a CIWS, it's not just another gun. A CIWS has to detect targets fast, has to track them accurately, has to engage them automatically, especially aircraft, and has to do all of that without interfering with the main gun or the ship controls. And on top of that, it also has to be able to lead targets. No pressure, right? So the way we got it worked out here is I'm going to retain the same ballistics controller that I used for the front gun. It's of my own design with some modifications. Number one being I'm going to set it up to where it can automatically lock onto targets and not have to manually lock every target like the front gun does, because I need this thing to be actively defending us while we are trying to operate the boat and work the main gun, because it's just going to be too much for a single player to do to try to lock and track targets. So let's go ahead and get building on the actual CIWS, and I'm thinking right here looks like a pretty good spot. What do you guys think? The other thing I was considering was potentially having it come up out of the deck, but realistically I think we can just plop it right here for simplicity's sake. So let's delete, actually I'm not even deleting anything out yet. Let's go ahead and grab a turret. Now you can use whatever you want. You could use a turret ring like I'm doing here, or you could just use a regular velocity pivot, however you want. However, the positive probably needs to be going clockwise. So let's put that in there like that. And then we can start building the main gun. So what we want to do here is just build a few up on both sides. And one side here, we're going to need a robotic pivot. Compact robotic pivot. So we're going to slap that in with positive, pointing the gun up like that. And the way this ballistic system works, it's tied into radar, so we're going to have to add another radar, but because of that, we're going to have them kind of oriented the same direction. So in its parked position, it's going to be pointed forward. So let's grab a rotary autocannon, aka the Burt gun. We're going to Burt some things. And then we just got to doll it up a little bit so it's not hideous. Let's grab one of these. Do something like this. In addition to that, the radar would normally be mounted on top of the cannon for the CIWS, but the way this works, I actually have to mount mine hard mounted on the ship, just because it's the way the ballistic missile controller functions. So, oops, let's just plop that down. I need one of these guys here. And we're going to mount one of these right here. Okay, just like that. It's going to look the same as all the other ones. Same direction, same everything. And we can make this look a little bit better by doing just a little bit of touch up on it to really make it pop how it's supposed to. Same over here. Now before we get into doing anything too crazy, I want it to look like a CIWS at least, so let's just stick one of these on there for funsies, and it'll at least look the part. Don't think I can put anything there because we have to have a spot for our shells to eject. So we're going to stick those kind of like this. And I can't put anything there. I could move it forward a little bit and it might look better. Let's do that. Yeah, I think that'll look a little bit better. Can I put one there? Nope. But I can put this front edges in here. Okay. Kind of spiffy it up a little bit anyway, even if it's not perfect. Okay, so we have the gun and we have the real radar with a fake radar on top of it. So now let's get some ammo going into this thing. And what we're going to use is going to be the autocannon belt flexible coming down out of here. Okay, and we're going to need one. We're going to need to get ammo from down here somewhere. Where's a good spot to do that? Not back here. Probably right here. We want our magazine to be kind of low because we don't need that getting shot up a bunch. So I'm going to knock a hole in this boat so I can kind of tell where I'm at. And let's see, let's go on to like this, and we're going to put this in right here. Okay. And that's going to allow the gun to turn and spin without having to do anything down here with the ammo. So we'll be able to just do whatever we need to do and have a flexible belt between the two. So hook those up with a rope node like so. And then we're going to need to run a feeder. Feed the gun like this. Just make sure the arrow is pointed up at the gun. And then let's get back into some autocannon belts. And we're going to do straight belt down through the floor. And down here is kind of the no man's land where we don't really care what it looks like. So we're going to put a ton of ammo in this thing. And the reason we're going to do that is because light autocannons or rotary autocannons absolutely shred ammo. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to do, actually let's start in the middle. I'm going to skip a row about like that, but back a little bit further. Just skip, I don't need to skip that much, just need to skip one. Skip one and leave one. Okay, so that gets me where I need to be there. And we can just stack the ammo down here. But first thing we want to do, switch them to rotary. We're going to throw in some HE rounds for knocking down helicopters and airplanes and jets, I guess. Because we do not want pesky buggers just to burn on like we would use for incendiary. We want to just knock them down. So high explosive all the way around here. And then because it's painful to just change all those, I'm going to copy and paste it. And I can actually stack these up. I should have just done one row there, but that's okay. Paste. Just kind of cheated a little bit here. Paste. And we just grab a single row, cut, paste, paste. Can I fit one more? I can. So we're gonna have a huge magazine, absolutely insane magazine. Now normally you might be thinking, well, I could just run infinite ammo, and that's great. Yeah, you can do that. However, when you run infinite ammo, the enemy vehicles get infinite ammo too. So if you don't want them just to be constantly ripping your boat apart, sometimes it's best to do it like this. Okay, and we're going to start over here. This will be just fine. We're going to use belt corner going up like this. And then the easiest way to do this, in all honesty, is to put in another one of the flexible units like that. Down to here, hook it up. Oops, wrong button. I need to go here. And then we're going to take some more of these flexi units here, or angle units, wrong way, and slap them all along here like this. Then we're going to do it on the back. And not exactly sure how this is going to shake out 100%, but we're going to just go for this for right now. And we'll build our way towards one side to the other. So what we want to do is take these 90-degree guys. Oh, why is my mouse doing that again? Go like this, We're going to spin it go like that. We're going to come down here. This, spin it, go like that. Then this one back this way. Then this one this way. And we're just going to repeat that process all the way across, with the exception of the very middle, which is going to need a little piece there to finish it off. And don't need that one. Okay, so that hooks all that up except for the straight piece we need right there. Okay, that's all the ammo. Let's just double check, make sure they're all rotary HEs, and they are, so we should be good. Okay. And everything should be hooked up for ammo. So let's get the ballistic controller in, and we want to use the short range one. We're not looking to lock onto things 20 miles out there. We're looking to lock onto things like 500 meters away. So first things first, this goes to control the radar. Need to get monitors. We actually have 2 monitors here, so we can use both of them for that. Touch screen. Touch screen. So we're not going to run a long-range radar on this, so we'll just hook that regular radar up to the long and the short-range radar. We're not going to use formation control, but we are going to use all this stuff. So this is the compass, which is right here. This is the auto lock. So this has an auto lock feature built into it, which I'm not using on the front gun. So we use an auto lock, and then we need to enable the CIWS as well. So we'll put a couple buttons in here. This one will be called auto lock, and this one will be CIWS trigger. I guess that's good enough, because I think this one's called master arm main gun trigger. Okay, let's get this down into the auto lock feature. This one, master arm, that's got to go to the master arm button, which is right there. And the trigger for the CIWS. Right there. Okay, then we need elevation gain, which we'll get to that in a moment. This is gun elevation, so this goes over here to the up and down robotic hinge, and then the gun yaw is going to go to this guy. We have GPS. We actually don't need the GPS because that's just part of tracking targets, but we can hook it up anyway because it's here. FF gain, we'll need that here in a minute. Gun yaw, that's your forward facing gain is what FF gain is, and that is going to excuse me, adjust how much lead we have. So let's delete those out and get some levers in. It's best to have adjustable gains on these. So this will be a horizontal lead gain, and we're going to set a max value of 10, a minimum value of 0, and we're going to put it down to like 10%, and we're going to start at about 4.5. And this will be vertical lead gain, and we're going to do the same thing. 0, 10, somewhere around 10%, start about 4.5. Seems to work like a pretty good number for this system. This is the vertical elevation and horizontal. Need the video control. This is the target info. This goes over here, just tells us where it's at, all this information. And this is the main radar. So it'll mimic these. They're kind of scrunched up a little bit, so maybe we could do a little adjusting here. This is the avionics, or not avionics, but the instrument panels turn on. And I think we can, like this, maybe go over here with this one, and maybe go tighten it up over here with this one. That will keep it within reach of the seat. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. We can just plug up this hole and save it for later use. I think that's almost everything. So, did I get the trigger hooked up? I didn't see a trigger. Trigger hooked up. Trigger. So the trigger's got to run the trigger and the feeder. Okay, and then we go when we turn the master arm on, which is right here. Where we want to turn. Actually, we don't want a master arm. We want an instrumentation. We want to turn on the radar as well. And then double check everything here. We have trigger. That's all done, and I think that'll work. Now, one thing I forgot to do is set this radar value, so we need to go pretty high on the Y, like max, and we're not capable of locking much more than 640 with the short range system anyway, so we're just going to max out this and set it on manual mode. Alright guys, we're on the hunt. I'm going to use the main gun to wipe out the ships. CIWS for planes and choppers. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. We fed that guy so much corn. Hey, we got another one. Let's see if I can get a lock on it manually. He's out of range. There he is. Need a couple of them. Oh, eat it. Come on back. You need some more, dude. I think that's due for an MXC impact replay. What the heck? This thing is shredding. They shot the radar off of it, but it's just there for looks. Oh, what do we got? Two choppers. Let's see if we can't manually lock. Now, it will not auto lock to the front of the boat, but I have it set up that way on purpose so we don't shoot the cab off this thing. But we can still manually lock up there. Oh, he took some hits. Lost his missiles. Okay, it's not going to fire over there because it's afraid it's going to shoot the boat. But we can shoot this one. Oh, he's going down. He's going down so hard. Glub glub. What? This thing wrecks. What else we got coming? Let that one auto snap, see what happens. A little out of range. There we go. Oh, he's not out of range now. That boy got trucked. I tell you. Kind of digging this system, guys, where we get to do a little bit of automatic firing. We get to do a little bit of manual control. And we can go full manual. We turn the auto lock off, and we have to lock everything and shoot. I mean, yeah, it's still going to shoot at radar contacts, but we do have to manually lock them if we turn the auto lock off. Did we just kill everything? I feel like we just wiped out. Oh, no, no. Struggling to lock it. Now. Oh, you got melted. Jet. Might be coming in a little high for the auto locking to really oh, never mind. Never mind. Get drilled. Get drilled. Here one. Where is it? No way he's gonna walk that off. No way. He just walked off, both engines critically damaged. Ooh, what are we shooting at? More jets? You're on fire. I need to turn the vertical speed up on that pivot just a smidge so it can track a little bit better. But overall, it's just full on wrecking everything. Where'd that dude go that was over here? I know he took a hit. He doesn't have. I don't think he has any missiles left. He's got guns though, and those are hurting. Probably killing the CIWS right now. Yeah, I think he beat it up a little bit. Let's just repair it. Dude is still alive. He's on fire. Both engines are burning. Oh, he's going down. Blood. Alright, you guys. Well, I think we're going to conclude that for the sea trial. Took a little tuning, but still not perfect, but it's doing CIWS stuff now. And realistically, that changes this ship. I'm going to go blow some more stuff up. Changes this ship completely. Aircraft that used to be a problem, I guess they're just not anymore. And this is just one system. We have lots of other systems we can do. And it's going to be up to you guys. So, CIWS installed. Now it's your turn again. The real question is, what are we going to put on next? The last time you asked for air defense, and that's what you got. Oh my goodness. Just like, get shot. Next upgrade equals a top comment. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Let me know in those comments what you want to see. My name is Tater. I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Damn, Zodiac is on fire? Get out of here with your bad stuff. Oh, goodness. What are we shooting at? Bye, Felicia. Oh, no.